Hello and welcome to another how-to video. My name's Ditech, CTO at DVS, and before you go any further, please do hit that like and subscribe button because we want to get our subscribers up and you will get notified of all our brilliant weekly content. It's a win-win for both of us, so please do help us out and hit that like and the subscribe button. Now, in front of us is something a little bit different. If you've seen the screen behind us, it is BTEC. So BTEC is our premium bracketry manufacturer. They are synonymous with quality and diversity of product. They have a product that will fit any screen to any application, whether it's LCD, LED, video wall matrices, floor mount, AV mounting solutions for like meeting rooms, etc., or whether it's CCTV products. So they already do the 50mm standard mounting screen range, the ceiling mount, girder mount, etc. in the 50mm, and that's in black and white. I think you can get it in chrome as well now for special order, but they've done that 50mm for a very, very long time. For CCTV, we really wanted to pick out the new CCTV. I say new, but it's new to you guys because we really want to highlight this and the benefit of this system. It's a 38mm system. Why? Because you don't need a substantial 50mm for most CCTV applications. Now, the reason why they downsized it is because it looks nicer, it's easier to fit, it's obviously more cost effective, and it's built to spec for a CCTV system. On a 50mm, where you're traditionally hanging 65 to 85 or even bigger screens from girders, etc., of course, you need more substantial equipment. For CCTV, where you're fitting a static camera or even a PTZ, or a combination of a static with a monitor, generally a small mount monitor on the same drop pole, 38mm is more than adequate. Now, we do the 38mm here in stock at DVS, and there is a host of options available. I've kindly highlighted that on the webpage behind. Do head over, we'll put a link in the bio to show the BTEC 38mm security overview range. Now, it is quite simple, and it is very, very versatile. If you haven't used this system, I'm an ex-engineer. I used to fit this stuff day in and day out from industrial to retail applications. I know how time consuming this can be. So if you've got a CCTV system and you know what the drop needs to be, or you need a combination of parts to make the drop what you need it to be, I can't even speak today, then Bank Holiday Mondays for you guys. This is definitely the system for you guys. Now, the default comes in white. It's, if you go into any CCTV application where they're fitting CCTV cameras, PTZ stacks on drop poles, they are generally in white. If you need any other colour, please do let us know. 38mm, lots of different accessories, and I will show them for you. From the fixed ceiling mount, the pole adapters, so this is for fixing more than one pole together. So if you've got a long pole, say 2.5 metre drop, you can buy a 2 metre and a 1 metre, cut the 1 metre down but join them with the pole adapter. You've got the accessory collar, which I'll show you in a minute. That allows you to fit the accessories to the 38mm, like a TV bracket. So if you wanted to fit the accessory collar and then fit a fixed mount TV backplate, screen mount, you can to that. So you can have, like a 24-inch screen on a drop pole with a camera below it. Very typical for a PVM, a public display monitor style setup, where the camera sits directly under the monitor. We've got the dome security, universal dome security mount. We've got the large universal dome camera mount. The reason being is they're multi-format, so whether it's a turret camera, which would be the smaller type footprint, or if you've got a larger, like a 2.7 series where the footprint is bigger, or like an internal PTZ, the ceiling mount, then you would use the large dome camera mount. They are universal, plenty of fixing options in there, so it should be fine. You've got the 38mm pole. You've got the small dome camera mount. So if you've got like a small internal with a very small footprint, like a 2.1 series from a Hikvision, that would be perfect for that scenario. We've got the internal pole joiner kit. So you can join two poles together internally, so it looks like a continuous drop. Girder and purlin mount, this is fantastic. This is the bit I really wanted to highlight today. We've got one here. The external pole joiner, the ceiling mount with tilt. So again, if you're fitting that to a fixed ceiling or a girder or a purlin, you don't need that kind of girder purlin mount. You can use the ceiling mount there with a tilt option. So if the ceiling is running up, you can actually adjust it to get it true, hands down true to the camera or the monitor that's below it. The full ceiling trim, which we've got here, and the adjustable drop ceiling mount. We don't have one of those here, but you get the idea. So it's a very simple range, but it is extremely versatile. It will suit 99% of your security needs. So starting with the pole, this is a standard 1 meter pole length. They are available in different lengths. And yes, you can cut them down. So if you've got like a 1.5 meter drop, for instance, just get 2 poles, join them together with the internal or the external. It really depends on, you know, your preference, I guess, or the, you know, what the job demands. But even if you do the internal pole kit, just cut them down. It's as simple as you can cut them with a hacksaw at market, cut it with a hacksaw, and then just drill the holes if you need to for the accessories, etc. But the poles can be cut down. You know, as an engineer, I used to actually carry a battery chop saw on the van so I could cut these down really simply. Now, before, you know, many years ago when I was on the tools, this option really wasn't available. So we had to hand make a lot of this using Unistrut, etc., which was time consuming, was really expensive, and you had a lot of wastage. This is perfect. There is very little wastage in this, other than if you need a custom sized pole, and it would be the bit that you cut off, and you could potentially use that again on a different installation or a different camera in that application. So simply 38mm pole, nearly broke it. You have the internal pole joiner kit. So this is the internal pole joiner kit. I can hardly speak today, guys. So you can see there, it's just 2 internal brackets. What you would do here is really, really simple. You can see there's already predefined holes in this. It's as simple as fitting this kit here. So one there, so the holes line up. So the holes line up here. That pole will slide on, and you simply screw it using the, it comes with Allen keys and bolts. Look, you can simply put that into this kit here, into this joiner kit. So 2 poles can be joined together with the pre-drilled holes into this lovely internal kit. Now that will make a seamless joint between, so it will look aesthetically pleasing. Again, if you do need to cut this pole down, but you need like an accessory mount, etc., where you do require the holes, you can just drill the holes yourself after. It's very simple, but for the joiner kit, they're already predefined. Just simply join them together using the internal kit like this, and it comes with the Allen key and bolts. Put this back in here because I do have a habit of losing stuff. So that's really, really simple. We have the accessory collar, which we talked about, which is there, which allows you to hang things like the flat screen mount. So with the accessory collar, again, they all come with instructions. They come with the bolts and Allen keys that you require. It comes in white, comes with a plastic cover to make it look nice. But it is as simple as sliding this on. You can see there, it slides on. Look, locating it into the position that you need. And you can, it does have grub screws. You can see that there, it has grub screws either side. So you can secure this onto the collar if you know where it needs to go. You can also use the predefined, there is holes on here. So if you want, you can actually drill your own hole and put the bolts in. See now. So it does come with long bolts like this, so effectively you could put it through here. I'm not going to hand tighten it too much. There you go. But you get the idea. It goes through there, and then it goes actually through there. So you can drill your own hole, so that goes through the tube itself, and then we'll go through here to secure it once it's lined up. And you just need to screw it up. So you can actually then bolt it through the tube. You can use the grub screws to secure it while you do that. You can drill your hole wherever you like on this tube to position this wherever is required. You can actually be inventive. The cable can go inside this tube and you can drill a hole and bring the cable out. That's also absolutely fine. The idea being the flat screen mount here. So this is this standard flat screen mount. This one is in black, apologies. With most screens are in black anyway. Again, it comes with installation and the detail needed, Allen keys, bolts, they're all there. What you do with this then, don't lose the parts because I've got to send it back. This is like a tilt and turn one, so you can see there, this allows you, so if you're fitting this on a drop pole, it actually gives you the tilt adjustment to point the screen down. Really critical on a public display monitor, a PVM, PDM, public view monitor, public display monitor. You can actually tilt that screen down to look more at the person as they come through the entrance. So that is a super critical part of that installation. It is in black, most monitors are in black, you can spray it white if you want to. But the idea being then, is this allows you to fit that straight onto that adapter collar. So wherever that, so ideally it would be sort of this way round, and that is a perfect fit onto there, straight in through the back of this assembly, which will allow you to tilt and turn it. But you can have that collar, all you need to do is move the collar to where you want it, drill the hole to bring the cable down through it, so the mains are HDMI, Cat5, whatever, if you're using a HDMI extender, whatever that looks like, whatever cable is needed for your installation, through the pole, drill a hole, pop it out, put this adapter on there, and you can position this wherever you want. So it's extremely versatile, like I already mentioned. I've locked that in now. Take that off quickly. Before I lose it. It does come with the white covers then, to make it look nice, to clamp around that as well. So again, accessory collar, pole, there's different size poles, the flat screen mount with tilt and turn. We've got the dome security mount, and like I said, again, instructions, loads of screws. In fact, they probably give you too many screws, but it's always good, especially as an engineer. So if I was going to fit, let's say, the Hikvision turret camera, normally I would just destroy the bag, but I'm just going to destroy it. There we go. So again, rub screw just need to retain that. So again, you can see there different styles. So this is the 5.910. So this is the 5.910 is this dome security, so it's the standard one. 38mm. At the bottom, traditionally at the bottom of the pole, the cable will come out. Then your camera. So if I just slide these through here to get rid of them. And again, you can either use a back box or push the cable into the pole itself. It's really, the preference is really you. The reason I like back boxes on the cameras, especially on a pole mount, it gives you a service loop. So if you were to fit it this method, like this, and you needed to take the camera off and change it, or test it, the network, without the back box, you'd have to have enough cable pushed in there to allow you to pull out for a serviceable, to give you that service loop. If you fit a back box to the camera, that can be hidden in the back box, and actually it doesn't look too, the installation won't be affected really. The back box isn't that big, and when they're mounted up high, you don't really notice it. But that's the idea. That plate will fit onto a turret camera, so a traditional, say like Hikvision turret camera, and then you get that drop pole effect. Lovely fit on that. And we do 3 different sizes of this plate, so just look at it, whichever matches your camera. And again, when it's up high, you don't actually notice it that bad. They still look really neat. So again, you can push the cable up into there, put a back box on there, etc. But recommended, you definitely leave a service loop, especially when you tie that up at the top of a purlin. That can be sort of 3, 4, 5 meters high. If this is only a couple of meters off the floor, and you can get to it off tall ladders or a lifter, you might have to go right to the top then to actually cut the service loop to give you that, to test the cable, etc., or change the camera. So it's not ideal. So do think about things like that when you are fitting this system. Like this is learned from experience. Do either push a service loop up into the pole or fit the back box to give you that option. Honestly, it will save you so much frustration. I will fit that to that shortly, and then we'll just show you what that looks like as a complete system. We've got the false ceiling mount again. Like that. So that goes onto the pole. That would sit against the false ceiling, so it gives it a nice aesthetic look, especially hides any gaps around the pole that you might have that come through the ceiling, whether that's a tile or plasterboard ceiling. It could even be metal. that shroud simply slides up the pole and gives you a neater installation fit at the end of it. Okay, so that's just the nice little plastic shroud. We also have a PTZ mount. So for instance, if you're using a Hikvision PTZ, try not to lose the bits again, guys. It comes with the standard 38mm again, it comes with a standard PTZ thread. So if I was to use a Hikvision PTZ, for instance, just happen to have one here, in the box it comes with the thread adapter. So all I need to do is thread this into here, so lock it in using the grub screws. This goes onto there, and then this simply, again, service loop, push that cable up there. But because the Hikvision camera allows this adapter mount, that goes straight into there, locks in like so, they lock in there, and there you have a completed Hikvision PTZ on a drop mount. So it comes with the normal NPT thread style. The Hikvision PTZs all come with that thread adapter in the box, so you can simply hang a PTZ on there. That is rock solid. When that's tightened up, hanging from a girder, as long as the mounting is secure, that will be secure enough. You can use if I was to use one of the really big PTZs, like the 8 and 9 inch PTZs, I'd probably upgrade to the 50mm drop pole, because it does give you that bit more rigidity. This will be perfect. Very standard for an internal retail or industrial commercial setup. Dropping it like this, event spaces, etc. Dropping it on this kind of pole with a full PTZ, it looks really, really neat. Matches the PTZ colour. Fantastic installation. And again, do make sure you leave that service loop, and then obviously I'll just disconnect it all for a minute. Put it all back in there. I'll put this back in a minute and put it all back together. The last thing that I wanted to show you, just put all this over here, was, it's a mess now guys, this girder mount. So I can take this girder mount out. It does weigh a bit of, it is actually quite heavy. Comes with the girder section mount there. It's very adaptable. So you can see there, it's got the built-in collar adapter. So this effectively goes either on the purlin, on the girder, so it goes over there. These go it is you can see there the different style purlin or girder. Let's do it this way round. So that slides over your purlin or your girder. You tighten them down with bolts, which will lock it in. That would lock that against there. This then goes into the adapter here. Cable can come out and through, so if you leave a gap there, bolt it straight through, cable comes down, and then your camera or PTZ at the bottom. And it's got tilt and turn, so you can actually level it. So depending on which way you fit that, it does have a level adjustment. So again, if the ceiling's fitted, it's like, like a standard where you can turn that round and you've got the adjustment there to make it true drop. I just dropped that, sorry guys. But that'll give you like a true drop on there. So that's the girder and purlin mount. Different setup depending on if it's a girder or purlin, but it is very, very simple, very super cost effective. What I'm going to do now is, because I just made a mess, is clean up a little bit. I'm just going to quickly put this together with the girder mount on the top, with the turret on the bottom, just to give you an example of what a finished product looks like. So give me 2 minutes while I mess around with this, because I have made a complete and utter mess here, guys. And I'll be back to show you what that looks like. Okay, so I have cleaned my desk, clean desk policy here at DVS. this is the setup. It took me minutes to do it. All of the bits are generally in. You got all the nuts and bolts, all the parts you need to complete the drop setup are in the boxes. Just don't throw them away, guys. Very simple setup. So like I said, this is a 1 meter pole. We've got the girder or purlin mount here. So slide that on, do those bolts up at the top, and then it will lock it in place. There is another additional bolt-on pad there, which you can use to, depending on the setup, whether it's a girder or purlin. But it's a very simple setup. Either side, lock it on, bolt it up, and that will keep it solid. The cable can come down the centre of the pole, so off the purlin, down the centre of the pole to the camera. No problem at all. It has a adjustment here on the collar, like I said. Once you've got it true or level to how you desire for your installation, you just simply, that was close, take these off because they will fall. That's the idea. There is 2 there and 2 there. You just simply tighten them up. That will lock this in place. It will be extremely tight. And then you just tighten that collar further, which will lock this, and it will all lock in together. So it'll be really, really solid. Again, drop down here, and all we've done here is fitted the universal turret, well, dome, but it's perfect for this turret. Standard Hikvision turret camera, which is the most widely used camera from a Hikvision perspective. And we simply fitted the base onto here. So just 2 grub screws and the bolt that comes in the pack. Bolted it on, so the turret goes straight onto there. Like I said, with a back box, perfect, because you can use a service loop. If you don't want to use a service loop, push the cable up into the bracket and connect it like I have here. And you have the full adjustment, and that does look nice. It's nice and white, it's all colour matched, really. Looks really nice, in my opinion. And very neat, very effective, very time saving, with very little wastage. And it looks professional. So if you haven't yet used the BTEC 38mm CCTV security pole setup, that was a mouthful, do get in contact with the DVS sales rep. We will be more than happy to go through this. I'm really, really keen to get this across to you guys because I've been there, I've done it. I know how difficult this setup can be and how time consuming, especially from an engineering perspective, when you could be scratching your head thinking, how am I going to get that to drop down to be in the location I need it? We've got the answer for you. You just need to buy the bits from DVS to allow you to do it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was informative. Please do hit that like and subscribe button. Like I've already said, it does notify you of really cool content like this. A massive shout out to Matt Nixon from BTEC for giving me these parts to make this video. It's really, really a true partnership. And again, BTEC, if you haven't seen them, where have you been for the last 15 years? Please do go check out their website, BTEC AV Mounts. Contact your DVS sales rep where we'll be more than happy to talk through all of the multitude of mounting options for your cameras and your screens for your AV needs. See you next week for another how-to video. Thanks, guys.